RJ and I, we do this show for love, out of love for everybody, because we care about people, but we want to give information and give people the ability to succeed. Some of you listening to this will need to reinvent yourself professionally sooner than later. You're going to have to. Not saying that you're not good at what you're doing, but this intelligence, this artificial intelligence can do it a lot better and a lot faster than you can. So you will have to pivot. RJ's advice is very good. You will have to pivot. So if you think your job could be consumed by artificial intelligence, maybe not tomorrow, but within the next 2 to 3 years, this is the time you ought to consider reinventing yourself. Find something that can differentiate yourself, and we're going to be talking about that too in part of some of our advice. The second thing, as the slowdown continues, that impact areas, liquidity. We are already seeing it. People are spending less, saving less jobs, less full-time jobs. That means there's less what? There's less money. So there's going to be a liquidity issue as we go. People are just not going to have money. A lot of people you ask now don't have a savings, right? So people are already feeling that crunch. It's going to get a little worse. We're just being honest. This is going to get worse. So liquidity is going to be a problem. We're going to discuss about some ideas and solutions for that. And then lastly, this is a big one, retirement. Retirement will be impacted as the slowdown continues. Look, you're putting your money into a pension. Your pension, that pension fund is funding one of these companies or these ETFs, which is exchange traded funds that are populated with these companies that are slowing down. So of course your retirement is going to slow down. Default, of course, things are going to fall down. And we saw this in 2022. People's average 401k was down 15 to 20%. That's a lot of money. Now, it has recovered in the last 2 years. You should not be down from 2022. Everybody should be much higher. So it's recovered, but we are going to see retirement funds going. So if you are at the latter part of your retirement years, close to retirement, listen to me now. You are in the latter part of your retirement years. You need a heed warning that you may need to either A, consult your financial advisor, of which I am not, nor is the guy to my right either. We're not financial advisors. We're just giving you guidance. But consult your financial advisor if you have one, to see if they can rebalance your portfolio. Maybe you don't invest as heavy, because if you're going to be out of the market in 2 or 3 years and we're going to see a decline, let's say for a month, for a year and a half or 2 years, well, you're on your way out. You're going to be losing money, right? So you may need to consider some of these details about your retirement. If you're, like RJ and I, young bulls in the mid 30s, you don't got to worry about nothing. You need to continue to invest during this time and take advantage of the discount. So depending on where you are in the spectrum, retirement-wise, you're going to feel the impact. So before we go into the what do we do next, and this is how we're going to land the plane with this thing, you have any thoughts on any of those things, RJ?
You have to be, the biggest thing is you have to be prepared for these times, so when things then go south, GT uses a great analogy, where there's fire, you run to it, so yes. It was funny on Friday. I check. I don't have much time in my day to stay on the stock market, and this is why I have my best friend GT to guide me through these thoughts and decisions that sometimes if I didn't have them, I'd probably be losing money, right? So on Friday, I check my stocks every day, maybe once or twice, and sometimes when I see something interesting, I send it to George, and gives me feedback. So having somebody like him in my corner, it's like a cheat code. It really is. Thanks to him, my portfolio is going the right direction. But I mentioned to GT, says I'm thinking about spending some money on this discount right now, and then my thought was like, okay, let me take this certain amount of money. It's to me, even $100 is a lot, but this was a big amount. And he goes, this is what I would recommend. And I was like, oh wow. So what he said really opened my mind. It's like, okay, let me pump the brakes a little bit, and he made sense, so but you know, when these times come and the opportunity rises, and if you have done your homework and you have money saved, and you're somebody like, you know, me and GT, to the point like he just mentioned, you know, you should be a little bit more aggressive in investing right now. When you
Oh
have
yeah.
these discounts, man, you got to jump on these things, but you know, obviously do it you know, do it the right way. So but the biggest thing I want you to get out of this is to be prepared for the tough times, so when you see that fire, you run to it when it comes to the finances.